We didn't know what to expect, but I'm not sure we expected a 5-2 road trip. The Kings did win 5 games, ultimately falling short tonight in Cleveland to a Cavs team that is beyond red hot. They're now 14-2 in 2024. In fact, December 15th, the Cavs were 13-12 in 9th place in the East. As it stands tonight, 32-16, now in second in the East. They're red hot. They look like a well-oiled machine against a Kings defense that had its issues tonight. The Cavs beat the Kings in Cleveland 136-110. Sacramento now 29-20 on the season. Each and every one of our podcasts presented by friends at Northwest Exteriors. Check out trustnorthwest.com. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan, who just got back from San Francisco after hosting Kings pre and post. How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I love when that's always my answer. I think that's my answer, whether they win or lose, but it will sound different. You know, it's how I say it. And I'm good. I'm solid. I think you and I talked about this for a second, right when I got done with the post-game show. You were getting done, wrapping things up. And we were like, gosh, kind of weird. Not super upset about that loss, but maybe it's because how we keep looking at that loss and bundling it up in this road trip and going, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not too mad. Now, I think there's a lot of different things to break down from tonight's game because it was against such a good team, you know, where there's other teams along this road trip that we keep talking about. Hey, you're supposed to get that win. You're supposed to do this. But tonight felt like there's a lot of good, but then a lot of bad when it came to the defensive side.
So we're going to definitely talk about this game. We're going to take a step back and look at the road trip as a whole, how we felt after this road trip. And we're going to talk some NBA trade deadline. That is coming up Thursday. We will be live on our YouTube channel that morning, youtube.com/@Deuce and Mo. We'll be live reacting to all the deals as they happen.
And he's not kidding when he says that morning. Like, it's NBA trade deadline day. It's such and I hate saying it like this because it's such a sad day for so many people, like obviously players and everyone. It's such a fun day for us because of, you know, it's rumors, it's change, it's excitement.
Yeah.
You see it as like drama and it's like reality television, you know, unfolding in something that you love so much, basketball. But
Morgan,
that is why we're on all day.
I have a hard time sleeping the night before the deadline.
It's like Christmas.
No, it is.
I know.
And
I know.
so I'm not kidding you. If something big happens, we're going to be
We're
live.
live.
And it may be at an odd hour. You're going to be like, what, Deuce and Mo are live at 12:30? What?
Gotta do it, I guess.
We got to talk about this big trade. And it's like, Dorian Finney-Smith goes back to Dallas for a second-round pick. How pissed would you be if I hit you up more? It's like, hey, we got to go live. Oh, God, the Kings make something. No, Dorian Finney-Smith head back to Dallas. You think we should talk?
You got this. I'll see you in a couple hours.
Oh, man. So, yes, we'll be live on Thursday. So, let's talk about this game. And, yeah, I actually, while I was waiting for you to get back from San Francisco, I went back and watched all of the Cavs' three-point makes tonight. They were 23 of 41 from downtown.
I know.
And coming in tonight, you're like, they're not a great three-point shooting team. On the whole, you're right. But recently, during this stretch where they've been absolutely red hot, they were one of the better three-point shooting teams. I think in the last 10 games coming into tonight, they were top 5 in three-point makes, just outside the top 10 in three-point percentage. I think what's so fascinating about this Cavs team, not to spend so much time specifically on them, is when they started 13-12, they had injuries to Evan Mobley and the Darius Garland. Like, it's not like they've been all healthy. And I think there was some concern that what was it going to look like when those guys got back? That other group had a ton of chemistry. Well, tonight you saw a lot of good. And Garland's not all the way back. He was questionable headed in tonight. Jared Allen questionable headed into tonight's game. They looked awesome tonight. I think first things first, you know, Sacramento to me tonight offensively, it's like they were knocking down shots. I felt like the offense, you're like, all right, you hit 17 of 44 from three tonight. You knocked down the 3-point shot. I think tonight the big difference was you could tell the Cavs were like, this Kings team is on the final game of a 7-game trip. Mm-hmm. We are going to carve them up. We're going to push. The number that jumped out to me most tonight, 31 fast break points. The most that the Kings have allowed this year. The Kings are a pretty good transition defense team, too. They get back, even after mistakes. Well, tonight they had 12 turnovers that turned into 17 points, but pushing. And it just put so much pressure on the Kings defense and collapsed the defense. I felt like Donovan Mitchell, he was knocking down shots early, but I looked at the end of the night. He had 8 fast break points himself. Donovan Mitchell himself had 8 fast break points. For perspective, the Kings as a team had 12. I thought Donovan Mitchell was awesome tonight.
Well, I mean, you look at just everything that you're saying right there, first starting with the fast break points and them just really pushing on them. It was just a really smart game plan to do that to the Sacramento Kings, especially. Where is their transition defense at? Like, what's the pulse on that? I think the effort was a lot better. It was there. It was just like we said, you're coming at the end of a road trip. This is what type of energy you're going to get. And then you look at someone like Donovan Mitchell. He looked absolutely amazing at times, and especially there at the end when he was trying that little shit thing on Kevin Huerter where he throws off the backboard and goes up for the layup. I was like,
it was beautiful, dude.
We get it. You can do it all.
We need to fully describe that moment.
Describe it.
He was on the perimeter, started out in the perimeter, Kevin Huerter defending. Allen sets like a little brush screen to roll to the basket. Huerter recovers to get back on the Mitchell. Mitchell gives him a little turn left, came back, throws it off the glass, dunks it home. It was a beautiful fake, gorgeous.
But then there was the other moment where you go, okay, he's going to be sharp on his threes at times, and tonight felt like it was one of those times. He was 5 of 11 from beyond the arc. But then, Deuce, the Kings were doing something that they do on star players. When they throw that blitz, especially, they throw it high up on them near the half-court line. They throw it up. Donovan Mitchell, quick, smart, decision-making player. He would quickly get that pass to Jarrett Allen in the pocket. Boom, go. Jarrett Allen makes the quick move, a quick decision. Even there was help coming up in time on someone like Allen, and it still wouldn't be enough because it felt like Sabonis was getting pulled out on that double or on that blitz, and then it just seemed like, okay, this is where the Cavs were going to dominate.
I mean, that situation. And to rewind for a second, the last time these two teams played, believe it or not, the Kings did beat this team earlier this year, 132-120 in Sacramento. And Keegan was the primary defender on Mitchell that night. And Keegan did a great job. And Donovan Mitchell's a great player. He's going to have off nights too. But Keegan legit played some nice defense. He was 2 of 10 with 5 points when Keegan was on him. Donovan Mitchell in that first game.
Yeah. I was like,
and tonight he was. They had him on early, but I could tell they were making it a point to run action to get Keegan off of him. And that's like. That's the ultimate respect, right? A little bit. But, for the Kings, it's like, all right, you got to make sure the right guys are getting switched on him. So, one, Keegan picks up a couple of early fouls that hurt. But then they were doing everything they could to get him off. Where in that first matchup, I think Donovan Mitchell was like, Keegan Murray?
I'll take it.
This is an early November game, by the way. They're looking at it. It's November 13th. Donovan Mitchell's like, this guy can't guard me. And then there's more of a sample size out there where it's like, no, this Keegan guy is on Luka a couple weeks earlier on this
He's going
trip.
on everyone's best player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they did everything they could to get him off. And Keegan also fouled him on a 3-point attempt, touch foul, and one. But then the Kings, you're right. Whether they were trying to blitz him or on a pick and roll situation, it's so tough when you mentioned Jarrett Allen, but Mobley tonight on that short roll, he had 7 assists. Yeah. So when you got Allen and Mobley combining for 10, it was so tough because, they'd get the short roll and immediately make a good decision where they'd fire it to the corner. And then I just felt like the ball movement in general tonight from the Cavs. I'm like, this group looked like they played together for 7 years.
It was beautiful. It was absolute. It was so crisp, so sharp. And I think that's what ultimately led to so many open shots too, so many open 3-point shots especially. Now they have guys that have that type of range as well. You got Merrill coming off the bench. You had Strus, obviously, who we already know can shoot. Strus finished 6 of 10 from beyond the arc. But I thought the rotations were good, but then there's a few of those 3-point shots. Now you can tell me because you went back and watched all these in the hour and a half that I was driving back here. But a few, what I was noticing is, and Mike Bibby brought this up too in the postgame, the urgency to get to some of these players from beyond the arc. And I felt once they're hot, you got a game plan and adjust it to everyone's a Steph effing Curry out here. And that same type of urgency and effort needs to be on all of these guys.
So to your point, I'll get to like what I saw, but Mike Brown said after the game, you know how they label certain players on every team hot guys?
Yeah.
He said the Cavs hot guy, the guys they label as hot, meaning these are the players that we can't like let good looks. We got to run them off the line, contest them, right? He said their hot shooters were 18 of 23 from 3 tonight. 18 of 23 from 3.
I mean, they were just so efficient, so on fire.
I mean, here's the thing about how they got threes tonight. Yeah. They did it in every way possible.
Every way.
It was pick and roll with Garland or Donovan Mitchell, or it was those guys just like pushing the pace and getting into the paint. And then they'd kick it out, and the ball movement around the perimeter was perfect. And so the Kings one guy gets beat, okay? And then all of a sudden, guys are trying to rotate. You're just a hair late. You're screwed.
Well,
and I thought the pick and roll defense, they got hurt a lot tonight because, dude, when you have bigs like Allen and Mobley that are threats because they're so long and can finish at the rim, but also can pass, like it puts you in a tough spot because now you pull Sabonis away in a pick and roll. If it's like Fox defending a guard, you're pulling those two away from the basket, and you still have to worry about Jared Allen down there. And who's the help? Is it Harrison Barnes? Is it maybe a Trey Lyles? That's tough.
I felt like this is what I will say too with the Kings defense. I felt like the effort was there. Like it was like they wanted to be in the right spot at the right time. They wanted to blitz hard. They wanted to do all the things right. But the Cavs just kept being a little bit more crisper, a little bit more disciplined.
Dude, they look awesome.
And then on top of all that, when you're knocking down your shots, you know how much that can deflate a team? And I thought the Kings did a great job not just getting down. They kept battling. Even every time they got into 10, they like kept being there.
I felt like tonight it was when it hit like 3.5, it was like,
yep.
Even though I felt like the real dagger was when Mitchell threw it off the glass and dunked it. I'm like,
real dagger.
You're not winning that game if he's throwing something off the glass. The other thing tonight, you're talking about the threes, but these are things that don't show up on the box score, okay? Jared Allen, what he did tonight, I know, like, you look at screen assists, and Sabonis and Gobert are always near the top. But, man, how often does Allen set a screen that gives Mitchell or Garland the ability to get in the paint and then spray? He set vicious screens tonight. I saw it multiple times on Keegan, on Fox, Herter. They got hung up. Monk. I mean, he is such a good screener.
It's all of it, and that is all about timing, not only from him, and it's also understanding timing of whoever's coming off that screen, especially if he has that chemistry now with Donovan Mitchell. All about timing, rubbing the shoulders. It doesn't matter if you're a brick wall or the biggest guy out there. If you have the perfect timing on it, and again, that goes to your guard too. And you've seen Sabonis at times yell at someone, like, not yell, but like communicate with someone like Kevin Herter and be like, hey, just wait one more second. It's like these pros, they know how to do that, but it felt like the Cavs were doing it perfectly tonight.
They were. I mean, it was really an offensive masterpiece by the Cavs tonight. And, you know, you said, you didn't mind the effort. And going back, I don't think there were some times where they were late on closeouts, but
urgency, right?
Today's game, it's just like if you're hair late, the reaction time. You know, there was one where I believe it was a pick and roll situation where they had Mobley on the short roll, and I think I'm trying to remember the exact play. It ended up getting back to Dean Wade in the corner, right? And Lyles was the guy that was supposed to be there to contest it. He was just a slight hesitation going out to contest it. Open three.
Yep.
Open three.
There
was another one, and this is where this is the other issue I felt like tonight is when you have Garland and Mitchell, two guys that can legit handle are threats to score at all three levels and can pass, you better be able to guard them a little bit. And the Kings couldn't stay in front of some of these guys tonight. But one play that jumped out to me was on, again, a short roll, Mobley to the corner to Karis LeVert. The guy helping the closeout in the corner was Davion Mitchell. Well, he was there,
Yeah.
but Davion Mitchell's listed at 6 foot, and good luck.
Yep.
Dang.
No, it was just like we said, offensive masterpiece, a lot of smart basketball happening for the Cavs. And on top of all that, when you do look at the fast break points too, and you go, okay, well, they had 31 fast break points and the Kings only had 12. But you go, well, did the Kings only have 12 because the Cavs were making all their shots? You could say a lot of that has to do with it. But it's not like the Kings were missing a whole bunch of shots all night long.
The fourth quarter is when they really went cold. And I also thought the Cavs defense did a good job, but the Kings were knocking down shots. The Kings shot 46%.
Finished with 46%.
They scored 34 in the first, 25 in the second, 33 in the third, 18 in the fourth when they ran out of gas, and then all of a sudden, they're rolling a little bit.
I guess my point to that being, though, is that, we've seen teams miss shots, Kings go out on the fast break because a good defensive play, whatever, get deflections, boom, go. But we've also seen De'Aaron Fox and other Kings players take that ball out so quick after a made guard, layup, go. And I felt like the Cavs kind of took on that game plan, especially in the fast break, to really push on the Kings, knowing that this was their last game in the road trip.
Yeah. I'm looking at the final numbers in this one. Sacramento's leading scorer tonight, Harrison Barnes.
Yes, it was.
22 points. He was 6 of 10 from 3. Other 3-point numbers tonight because the Kings were 17 of 44. Fox, 3 of 9. Herter, 2 of 5. Murray, 2 of 4 from downtown. Those are kind of the prime numbers. Yeah, I thought the Cavs just looked awesome. And I felt like this was a game where we talk so much all year long about the Kings' limitations as a team, like where they are, just from a roster standpoint. This is where you get exposed most when you have going up against a team with like 2 bigs that are long. Mobley's such a freak athlete,
sure, and
then you add in 2 like guards like Garland and Mitchell. The Kings don't have the personnel to really check those guys. I don't.
But you know what? I honestly, I think I felt after this game, and I just. No, moral victories. I don't believe even in that term.
Right.
Absolutely not. Whatever. I felt like this was one of those losses this year that it was like, oh, okay. A loss with a lot of effort, a lot of challenges. They kept up. They still played good basketball because we saw a lot of shitty losses this year where you could question the effort, the shot making ability, like the stagnant offense, the defense looking like shit. And I just felt like things were looking so much better for the Kings, especially they carried a lot from their wins in this road trip into this game. We saw a lot of good, especially like you're saying within the offense. They were making a lot of shots because they were creating a lot of good opportunity for their teammates. And one of my favorite ones was, I forget how it started, but then it ended up with Domas, and it was a DHO, but it was Domas doing it behind, like just not even looking, kind of just behind the back as Keegan is coming, and he understands that he's leading Keegan with the pass right here to have just a nice little easy mid-range jumper, and I'm like, that was my favorite play of the entire game. It was just so effortless. It was like beautiful, and they just made it easy on offense at times. Yeah,
they competed tonight for sure. I mean, it was a 10-point game in the fourth quarter. I wrote down the swing play of the quarter to me.
Which quarter?
The fourth.
Oh.
So it's early fourth quarter, 10:42. Let's see. I wrote down the swing play and then I look at it wrong. I'm just trying to make sure I got this right now. God damn it. Yeah. Okay, I got it. This whole timeout thing threw me off for a second. Okay, so Fox makes a jumper to make it 106-96, okay? Timeout Cavs, okay?
Oh, yes, I know exactly what.
Timeout Cavs. I'm like, dude, I'm telling Jason Ross in there, I'm going, dude, it's a 10-point game. There's like 10 to, like they're in it. Like they're battling right now. Out of the timeout, Garland turns it over. Fox misses a 3. Then Mobley layup.
Yeah.
Okay, tough. Then Fox comes down, misses a layup. Then Wade hits a corner 3.
And that's when the timeout was called? Mike Brown?
Yep. It was a one. So it went from, my whole point is, a 10-point game, you force a turnover with a chance to make it 8 or 7, and then it turns into a 15-point game.
Yep.
Like, it was just such a swing where, like, dude, they cannot just get it to single digits. And that's where take a step back for a second. We talk about where the Kings are at, where these games against the Bulls, or we mentioned the Bucks or the Suns, or even the Mavs. When the Mavs got back in the game, it's like closing teams out. They make a little run, they get it to 10, and then boom, blitz them. Tonight, the Kings made it their little run, and the Cavs went, stop it. We're going to execute here. We're at home. We're playing good basketball, and we're putting this team away. They did just that. That's the difference. That's where the Cavs are at a different level than the Kings.
Absolutely.
And that's just where it's at right now.
Yeah, and it's you saw where the Cavs were even defensively last year. And there was times going into this season. Again, you look at the first half of the season for a lot of teams, and I think sometimes – especially for me, I go, I really think we can figure out a team's identity through 20-ish games. And with the Kings, I was like, I have no effing clue what the shit they are. That was confusing. But I felt like that happened with a lot of teams so far this season, where you're really seeing different type of play from different type of teams. It feels like the Cavs are looking a lot more like they were last year.
Also
with
helps
that
when you play in the
defense.
East.
And it helps. I mean, sure. But
sorry to cut you off. You're right. The defense has been really good.
That's my point, though.
And someone like Max Strus, dude. Max Strus killed me tonight, man.
Well, he was shooting the shit out.
No, the shooting was great. Strus had 22 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Sabonis gets a rebound, stripped by Strus.
Oh, yeah. Who else? De'Aaron was stripped one time, but who is that by?
I don't know. But so Strus gets Sabonis once. And then Sabonis gets a rebound. Strus is patrolling right there. I'm yelling at the TV like, Sabonis! That's what the bench needed to do.
What were you yelling at?
Sabonis! Because I'm like, he's coming. And what do you know? Ripped it away.
Yeah.
And then it leads to a 3 that Sabonis doesn't contest because he's bitching at the ref. And I'm like, all right, so he's either bitching at the ref or at the bench. What? It was one of those frustrated Sabonis minutes where he didn't even go out to contest the 3. He went to touch Allen to make sure he'd get the rebound. And it was an open 3, bang. But Strus, those little hustle plays right there where he just took a rebound, a defensive rebound. He takes it away and they score 5 total points off of that. That's a huge sequence.
Yeah. No, I mean, and yeah, there was little things like that throughout this game. And, it's so funny that you're even saying that you were yelling at the TV, and sometimes it's like, sometimes teammates could help and, make sure that they're communicating with one another and trying to really get each other into it when someone maybe gets out of it. But yeah, either way, it happens with those type of effort players.
It can happen once.
Oh.
Can't happen twice. When it happens twice, you help them out. It's just the same thing with
when you say help them out, who are you saying help them out? Like
the bench.
Yeah. Well, okay. It's so funny that you say this about the bench or just about teammates communicating too, is that I was talking to Mike Bibby, and I was telling him how much I hated John Stockton and how much I still hate John Stockton, and how as like a young girl, I hated 2 guys more than anyone in the world. It was Stockton and Malone. Yeah. And then he started talking about Malone, and he's like, yeah, Stockton got me this one time on this play where he went this way, and I just went straight into this brick wall, and it's Karl Malone. And he's talking about it, and he goes, Malone comes up to me, and he goes, hey, young fella, you better tell your teammates to tell you a screen's coming or something, just talking shit or whatever. And I said, Mike, why didn't anyone tell you a screen was coming?
Especially
you could have died.
Yeah.
You could have died on that screen. And he's like, no, exactly. He goes, I was a rookie, Vancouver Grizzlies, and it just wasn't, we weren't all connected like that. And then he started talking about how with the Kings, they were all connected. They all really liked each other. Everyone was talking. So it is one of those things that those little moments really do matter and then it ends up becoming a swing play.
It's like what I always say, Morgan. You make fun of me for this, like you did on TV the other day. The little things are the big things.
Oh, I thought you were going to say.
They all add up.
You don't accept in defeat what you would accept in victory? Did I say it right?
No, you did. I have said this once the last 2 games we've done together. I've said it no less than 32 times this year on the podcast.
62, but go on.
You don't accept in victory, right?
Oh, that makes sense.
What you wouldn't accept in defeat.
What you wouldn't accept in defeat. My bad. I'll get your quote right the next time. And by the way, it's not even your quote. Who the hell said it?
at this
And you're
point,
not even crediting that
Can I be
person.
honest? At this point, I think it's me.
No, because you could say something over and over again. It doesn't just become your quote.
Okay.
Like, take something from someone in history and then not give them any credit. Like, what the hell?
You know, my fear is I'm going to look at it and it's going to be like
Some awful
it's going to be
human.
like Adolf Hitler. You know, and you're like, no. You know.
Oh, fingers crossed. Dear God, dear God, dear God, please. Please don't be any bad.
I don't know
Please
where
be
I
bad.
originally saw that quote. Dick Bennett.
Oh, dear God,
Oh,
Dick
no.
Bennett,
Oh,
please
no.
don't
This
be a
doesn't
weird
sound good.
racist weirdo.
Dick Bennett, who is a coach
Okay.
who coached last at Washington State. He was a college coach. I'm sorry, I don't know him. He coached at Wisconsin. Did he really come up with that quote? Because if he did, that's a great quote. Don't accept in victory what you wouldn't accept in defeat. I think it's him. Yeah.
Top 11 quotes by Dick Bennett.
The exact quote was, we cannot accept in victory what we would not accept in defeat.
Beautiful.
That's a great.
Dick Bennett.
He also said toughness is a skill and can be practiced and improved like all other skills.
Oh.
Hard disagree.
Oh. Hesitate in your beat.
He has too many quotes. Like he's forcing them.
Coaches don't want excuses. They want results.
Jeez, relax.
Just get better every day.
Oh, some of these aren't just him. There's other ones involved now.
Buy in or buy a ticket.
John Wooden. It's what you learn after you know it all that counts. Whoa, man.
Whoa.
Whoa. Anyway.
All right. Thanks, Dick.
Yeah. What else do we need to
Wiener.
talk about? Trying to think of what else I wrote down from this game. Keegan Murray tonight. I went back and watched the Cavs 3-pointers. I didn't go back and watch the entire game, obviously, but I'm eager to see what the hell happened with Keegan Murray in the second half because Keegan Murray came out and he was aggressive. He had 10 points when he picked up his second foul of the 248 mark at the 248 mark of the first quarter. He had 10 points. He finished with 10 points. And you're going, oh, did he just miss a whole bunch of shots? Well, at the half, he had 10 points on 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 3 from downtown. He finished with 10 points, 4 of 9 shooting, 2 of 4 from downtown. Keegan Murray got one more shot attempt the rest of the game after the half.
Not good.
And I think, again, without going back and watching all of it, there has to be a concerted effort to make sure he's involved, whether it's challenging him to be more aggressive or the coaching staff. And part of it, too, is, well, Malik's out there taking a ton of shots. Harrison is being more aggressive right now. He took 15 shots tonight. Fox took 20. But I want Keegan to get touches. He is too important to this team long-term to take one shot, in the second half.
Sabonis had 15 assists in this game. And I look at the moments that Sabonis makes his teammates better, finds them open, gets them open, whatever.
I got another stat for you, too.
I go, why wasn't Keegan either trying to utilize Sabonis more, even if Monk and Barnes were taking more shots, which I loved. I thought that, there was efficiency there. I liked what they were looking at. But you're exactly right. With Keegan, it whether it's a mental shift on his part or on the team's part, because no one wants to sit there and baby him and be like, okay, let's hold your hand and get you a shot. Take your damn shot. You pick.
Yep.
You go. Be aggressive. Do what you need to do. He seemed a little frustrated there at the end when he started fouling, especially when he started fouling Donovan Mitchell and stuff. But whatever it is, just get out of it.
In the second half, he and Sabonis combined,
Oh, yeah.
took 4 shots.
Yep. Not enough. Not
took
enough.
4 shots. So Keegan did not score in the second half. Sabonis scored 4 points. And Sabonis was, another triple-double for this guy. His 15th triple-double, tying Jokic. He now has 32 consecutive double-doubles. He had 12 points, 19 rebounds, 15 assists in the game.
I love this because GWIS, whatever,
Greg,
Greg on Twitter. He said, funny moment from the Cavs broadcast. They asked Jarrett Allen, how did you slow down Sabonis in that first half? Allen, I don't think I did. I think he has a triple-double already. And it's so fun. And I guess my point is, it's like they obviously felt like they weren't slowing him down. He was being aggressive. He was doing what he needed to do, whether it was rebounding, making, creating plays, or getting his shots off. But whatever they did in adjustments they made in the second half, they really slowed him down from being aggressive and trying to get those shots up.
Yeah, and that length. I mean, the Cavs defense is one of the best defenses in the league. Too,
Yep.
For sure. But, I think the Kings have enough offense. And you still score 110 points, but I think they left some on the board. And, Keegan's a guy that, when it is a 10-point game and you need a shot, like, let's find a way to get him involved, right? Because he has the ability to stretch the floor. He's got good size. We've seen the growth. And I think there are too many times lately where you're like, hey, he got off to a good start and he doesn't get the shots in the second half. They have to find a way to balance that a little more.